been said, a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and jail to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary. It's comfortable, it's lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-too-da-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-too-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid. But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-too-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee. A fwit-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Adventures waiting further down the road. Let's go! Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Here and welcome to Mad Labs, 1 week off from our normal time. But I'm psyched. I'm psyched because we're going to have some people that have been trying to come and see the show for a while that haven't been able to make it because the first Thursday of the month is always a conflict. But today is extra special because I am joined by my good, close, personal friend, Madam Ansa.
Is murder to Germany.
So, fun fact is, Ansa and I just got back from the Key City Steampunk Festival. You heard me talking all about it as I was leading up to it, and now you're going to hear me talk about it now that I am back from it. And I got to say, it's probably one of the best festivals I've been to in a long time. Other festival producers who can hear me, please do not judge me. Do not think that I think less of your festival. Just everything at Key City, every little detail was thought of and considered. And Ansa and I shared a table. We each kind of had our own table, and we merged the tables into one giant mega carny flea market yard sale table.
It was a ratapete of a table.
It really was, and that's
I
how
had a table on one end, and Mab had a table, but they left empty space between, and Mab just filled it in, and somehow we ended up with a table that was like 25 feet long. But then we were like a lonely couple in the movies because we would be on either end, so we would take turns migrating to each other's end of the table and being like, if you need me, I'm down over here.
You know what it was really like? It's like those fancy rich people dinner tables.
Exactly.
And where you're like, honey, could you please pass the salt?
The butler's got to get it. Yeah. It was great. We had a lovely time. Mab and I were also roommates and showmates. We did all the things together that we could. It was great.
And it was definitely worth it. The costumes, the volunteers, there were panels that we went to. Ansa, you taught a couple of panels. You taught about tarot. You did a tarot panel that was overflowing.
I did. We'd have to tell you that just some guy from Tennessee said that's why you need a model train.
I agree.
That's so good. I was gonna like text you back, buddy, but I'm gonna try to focus.
It's pretty fun, and I'm just imagining like what could we do? How could we do a model train kind of concept for the two tables, but like have it be a cranky, right? Right. So, you know what it could be? It could. Oh my gosh. See, this is trouble. You know, like the sushi go rounds.
Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm.
Right, but have like a big crank, and then stuff in the middle. That's what we're trying to sell. And be like, hey, the person over at this end of the table is interested in a Matchbox cranky kit. I got you. And then you put the Matchbox cranky in there and turn the little handle, and then the money comes back on a plate. Oh, I love it.
That makes sense. I had gone to the much less practical. Instead of a sushi go round, it was the shoshi go round. I mean, just have shoshi.
That would work too. I would hire that.
Yes,
who would absolutely have that. Model train. What is my purpose? You pass the salt. That's from Rick and Morty. That's nice. Very
nice. Oh my God, hilarious.
What is my purpose?
So so many things happened at Key City. I'm not sure how granular you want to get, but yes.
Yeah, I want you can talk and fill the airwaves. I want to.
All right. So I have been going to this event. I want to say this was my 4th year. With COVID, I kind of forget everything. Mm-hmm. Paulo and I went a couple times. We brought the kids, and then since he started needing to work on the West Coast during the summer, I was like, why don't I expand? Like, this is such a great and joyful event. Mm-hmm. Why don't I get my buddies involved? So we do a show that was really a hoot. It's called Nerds, Knives, and Noir. That is because a couple years ago, the thing about the Steampunk convention is that it has a theme every year. They're very keen on having storyline and lore. There was, I think my first year, it was all about werewolves, and they're playing werewolf, and then there was the noir year, and then last year was a D&D year, which was very on brand for us. But so the year of the Nerds, Knives, and Noir, we just kind of settled on that. And what that is it is a collaborative variety show where I invite my favorite vaudevillians to do a show with me for everybody there at the festival with live music. So there's a great accordion player there called Steam Cordia, Stephen from Steam Cordia. Sweet, what a sweet, great.
I love him.
Yep. Just, went from being like, hey, there's that guy that you see in the hall. Do you want to do a thing together? Even though we don't know each other. And at this point, like, we were all in the green room changing together and laughing. It's like, oh, we're actually friends now. Like, we've transformed this from, hey, you're some vaudeville guy to we have a, come to my house.
I got to touch on that. It was, we needed to rehearse, but we also needed to get dressed. I was like, just come to the hotel room where we're changing and you can play. And
you
then
work in theater.
I'm like, yeah, let's just, and then
we'll just practice the time warp while Mab and I lace into our corsets. It'll be fine.
It was awesome.
And he's a theater tech, so as well as a musician. So it was me, Steamcordia, Mabo Jabbo, and Crystal Younglove, who is another collaborator that I love to work with. Really great sideshow performer, and a very embedded member of that particular community. So I'm honored that it's really like the Pennsylvania steampunk community's regional event, if you want to think of it that way. Because there's this core group of people are largely Pennsylvanians. But they have taken us in, and by extension, they've taken us all in because, Steamcordia comes in from New York, Bab came in from DC, I come in from Virginia, and we had a great time. The premise of our show was, it's just a sideshow variety show, but we choose to all stay in the public view the whole time so that our interactions with each other get to be part of the fun. And the premise this year was that since the theme was Worlds of Tomorrow, we were time travelers. So Mab was Mabo Jabbo the robot.
From the future.
It was from the 2280s. I was in my full Western saloon girl 1880s.
Prescient costume.
Yes, with my giant feather, which is how I got the name Madam to begin with. And then Steamcordia was wearing his timeless vaudevillian black and white little bowler hat, that whole kind of thing, part mime, part part living statue, part accordion player. And then Crystal was wearing a toga and all of her stuff. So she was from the year 8. So we had the 2280s, the 1880s, and just 8. Yeah. And so I don't know, it's just very silly. And I have to say, I think that more people come out for that show to sit down than perhaps any other of the entertainment events there.
Really?
They hire a lot of
about that.
Great bands like Nightwatch Paradox. One of the bands is just an amazing band, but bands are loud and people tend to listen to it, but they also drift out onto the patio. People came to see us and they sat and they laughed. And I would say, and Mab blew their minds, because if you've never seen Mab do a balloon swallow, you've never seen an audience not know if they want to laugh, cry, or throw up. It was the best.
Yeah.
It was great.
They couldn't let it go. They could not.
Hello, Silly.
Hey, Sally. We did the show for you tonight. They couldn't let it go for the entire weekend. The rest of the day on Sunday, I was asked multiple times about the balloon swallow.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to mention, Ansa, your costume was prescient because next year's theme is Weird West.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, great.
Yes.
I know what I'll wear next year.
And maybe I'll see Blondie. There's another person I haven't seen in a while.
Yay.
This is awesome. And I just got to mention, get this in your ear, Wild West Space Opera in Space with Dinosaurs.
Right? I've been thinking about it a lot lately. For anybody who doesn't know, back in the day, I know this is a crafting show, but for the moment we're talking about the craft.
Well, no, it's about the show's about ideas and innovations.
Well, that we've got. So years ago, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, I don't know. We have a show. It was the Accidental Circus had a show. It was Wild West Space Opera in Space with Dinosaurs. It was Shoshi and her vaudeville partner, Kim, Mabo. Was it me in August? Was my accordion player there, or was it just me?
It was just you. So
and Paulo.
And Paulo.
So a 5-person.
Buster Britches was the space janitor. And we had a burlesque performer playing the role of Barbarella, space detective. And we had, so the way the show was written, it is also kind of a pastiche sort of format, but with a very loose storyline. So the storyline is we are all members of the crew, the spaceship Millennial Enterfly. And and we are space cow herders.
Right.
For the Callosauruses, because somebody one time saw the Fred Flintstone scene where they served great big brontosaurus ribs and then the whole car fell over, and then decided to genetically engineer cows the size of a brontosaurus.
Right.
So our job as a space crew is to herd the dinosaurs. And as we do the first half of the show, I can't remember what the subplot on that was. Is we were noticing things happening, and as the show progressed, the space dinosaurs, the brontosaurus, Callosauruses, were disappearing one by one.
Right, being rustled somehow.
They were being rustled somehow. So we were all trying to find. We were all trying to catch. Each one of our acts in the first half of the show was us trying to catch the Callosauros Wrangler, and then we decide collectively to hire a detective, Barbarella the space detective, and then we say things like, let me see your resume, and then she hands us a porno mag and it's amazing, and then we're like, what are your qualifications? And then she's like, these are my qualifications, and then she does the Barbarella striptease,
right?
And then then we have an intermission. And then the second half of the show is all of the crew trying to impress Barbarella.
Right. Oh my gosh. I remember so little of this. Here's what I remember. I get to sing Bang. I sing Bang Bang.
That's the end of the show.
Right. Right.
Then we're doing a routine and we see the burlesque performer comes out and does like this alien space tentacle scene, and it turns out that an space tentacle alien is stealing our cows, and we try to catch her, and then we pull off the reveal,
right? Scooby-Doo and
Barbarella the whole time because she's just not satisfied.
You'll never be satisfied. All I remember is I sang Bang Bang in like go-go boots, but because it was the future and it was in space, it was pew pew, they shot you down.
Pew pew.
Like everybody ends up dead. Is that what happens?
Then after because it's opera, and then after we reveal that it's Barbarella, she's like, you'll never catch me alive, and she pulls out a gun, and then we do this slow motion everybody dies on stage battle, and then it's just her and me, and we die in each other's arms, and it's beautiful and heartbreaking. Right. And then Anta comes up and goes, pew pew, you shot me down.
That's right. Yeah, I remember doing that show. It's amazing how little I remember of it, but I remember enjoying it a lot. And maybe its time has come to be like reworked for a Wild Wild West event. So this show,
Weird
Weird West. So we just did this other show where we were time travelers, and Mab, of course, Mabo Jabo was definitely not a robot who kept saying "kill all humans," and so at the end, she actually managed to stab us all because it's supposed to have knives in the show, but we don't have anybody who juggles knives when Paulo's not there. Mab stabbed us, but the important part of that is that because we have a person with an accordion, if you stab an accordion player, you have to make sure they have it in their hands so when they die, they go, wow. Profoundly satisfying because their death scene provides it. Anyway, we had a good time. The audience loved it. And if they didn't tell us about it. We had a great time because if you're not a variety performer, you might not know, but usually somebody announces you come out and do your thing. You leave. Somebody comes out and announces the next thing. There's not usually a lot of exchange between the artists. You might be bonding backstage, but what the audience sees is an episodic series of events like beads on a string. And so what I like to do with this show and also with the Furies show is we're all in the public view. So we're reacting in real time. Like Crystal was losing her goddamn mind watching Mab as a sideshow professional. I was watching video of me singing and the guys
you were into it. Well, it sounded great.
They're doing some like Motown stuff in their chairs. We get to interact not only with each other authentically, but also for the amusement of the audience. So
Authentically.
that was a real thrill. And we get to do that because this is a community-based event. It's not about everybody like flexing their pageant material, but really it's about heart.
Everyone had really good. There was some flex, but like in a good way. Like, I guess, like, I want this opportunity to show off this awesome thing that you guys inspired me to make. So, like, you inspired me to create this biodome, right? Did you see that outfit? She had created a space helmet using plants to generate oxygen in her space helmet.
Right.
And I thought, snaps, kudos. And it was a really awesome outfit. Ansa, you judged, you were there emceeing the costume contest.
Well, I was actually there. I emceed the fashion show.
The fashion show.
Totally different thing. So, again, I have to say, like, I can't say enough good things about this event. In that it's in a very functional, perfectly nice, weird hotel. Because it's in a hotel in Gettysburg. So the first time I walked in, I was like, why are there paintings of Jefferson Davis everywhere? Am I in the wrong building? There's paintings of everybody. It's paintings of Jefferson Davis and Abraham Lincoln negotiating. You know, it's Gettysburg, which apparently is profoundly haunted as well as full of history. So it's just such an eclectic event. So there's a costume contest, which must have been amazing, but I wasn't there for that because I came in right after that to MC the fashion show. And the fashion show is a mix of costumes people made and then costumes that vendors have made being shared, and then of wacky, weird drag and community affirmations. The mayor gets dressed up in the costumes too. They dress the mayor up.
So is that the mayor of Gettysburg or the mayor of?
The mayor of Gettysburg, not the mayor of Key City, the convention.
I met him.
Yeah, that
and I violated him.
Yes, Mayor Tony was delighted. But yes, no, this is the mayor of Gettysburg is in the fashion show.
Dang.
Because they're there to say, they're making a point to say, like, if we know it's good for us, we welcome the weird stuff. I'm just trying to check in with the chat because I can't see it.
Oh yeah.
Did
Wait,
somebody's
which message got flagged?
I don't know whose message got flagged.
VLF. You're mod, aren't you, VLF? I don't know.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I don't have Twitch on because it makes a weird echo when I have Twitch on.
Okay, it could be. Yes, I could be. I'm trying to stay abreast of things, but I also feel weird looking away from the screen. So
I think Sir David Percival might be a mod. I'm not sure. Here, let me hop over to Twitch.
Right.
And,
so while you do that, I will also say that there are some really great speakers every year. Liana Hyber, who is a ghost tour guide and historian who specializes in ethical ghost tours. In other words, like their premise is how we talk about dead women has everything to do with how we talk about women. And a lot of tours are like very sort of catastrophizing and like porn splaining women's murders. That whole thing, which is a huge part of American consumer horror culture. And she was like, let's not let these women lose their personhood in death. She's a very compelling writer who makes it really riveting while remembering to present everybody that she deals with as a person. And so she's written a whole bunch of books. She's an incredible speaker, super fun, very passionate, always wears full Victorian morning dress. So like 24 hours a day, like very impressive. And wrote a book called America's Most Gothic, which is about haunted buildings, which I happen to be quoted in because they have been sitting at the table next to me for the last 5 years. And when they were like, we're going to do a thing about this building. And I was like, oh, I have some historically couched dirt on that building. And so they asked me to write about it and I'm in the book. I mean, I'm not the point, the building is the book, but I'm happy to have been supportive of this cause of awareness. Anyway, amazing speakers. So much great costuming, so much great esprit de corps, vehicles, crazy vehicles driving around.
Oh my gosh. Yes. The one I really liked was it was like a little roadster, like a little old fashioned, kind of low to the ground. They're all electric. But this little roadster had like blue dragon scales all over it and this long dragon tail that trailed behind it. And it had all these buttons that made these roaring sounds, different dragon roaring sounds. And the headlights were like dragon eyes. Oh, it was stunning. That was definitely the best one.
Yeah, a couple times a day, people will get there. They'll bring their big builds, they call them, and they park them in one end so you can go walk around and look at them. But they will clear the hallways and they will drive them through the hotel. And like they drive them over to the cannons, which are in the lobby because it's Gettysburg, and they like drive it around the cannons.
Oh man.
Another great one that is it looks like the costume is built to look like a old fashioned like Jules Verne underwater, aquanaut, right? Like the giant sort of dreadnought suit with the big bubble helmet, holding a cage with a mermaid.
Oh yeah.
But the cage, like it's actually it is the torso of the person who's wearing the suit with the tail, inside the cage. So it looks like they're holding the bars and their tail is hanging down, and that their actual legs and the backpack make up the, sort of aquanaut. It's so clever.
Right.
So
that's the classic, the classic in a cage illusion where I love it. It's a delight. And there's also this round car that looked like a vegetable steamer kind of.
Like a colander, yes.
Yeah. So BLF, hey guys, hey Scott, hey Nina, Scott the mime. Hey, the mime is tuned in. This is awesome.
Are you seeing more than just Twitch people, or is that all?
I am. I'm broadcasting to my YouTube channel as well as my Facebook channel.
Hi everybody.
So I have aggregated. You know what I can do is this little button here. Burp, all the comments are on the stage now.
Great.
So that is awesome. I don't see
great.
comments, VLF. The comments that are getting, that's sad.
Oh, so hi Nina, you are there.
Yes.
The vehicles were incredible. Can we get the dragon car to FairyCon? I don't know who built that dragon car. I know some of the people who build the vehicles, but I'm not sure that I know that one.
Right. Well, because one would assume it was David Lee building almost all of them.
Right. Hatton Cross Steampunk builds a lot of them. He built the mermaid cage illusion.
Right.
Yeah, they're great. Happy to talk to you more, Nina, about how to connect with some of those.
Yes.
Folks.
And I saw that I was about to post in the Key City Facebook group, but I saw that you had. And I absolutely appreciate that. That's what I appreciate about you, is the fact that you beat me to it. So, hey, everyone tuning in. I don't know what I'm so sorry, BLF. I looked and I don't see any. Wait, your fellow? What? I'm going to allow. Hey, it's showing up now.
Into the chat. Well, I'm not wearing my glasses, so my typing will be bad, but at least now I'm in the chat.
Yay!
The thing about Key City is that it's, once you sort of gauge it and go, oh, this is like a community get together for people in this region. They have their own wacky culture. Like they have the Meowlicia, which is.
I love the Meowlicia.
Which is at some point, anybody who wants to changes into a French maid outfit, but with cat ears. And then they all go take a picture. And I've seen them do like amazing photo shoots with guns and stuff. Like when the Meowlicia is armed, the gays are unharmed. Like they use their creative powers.
Unharmed. I love it. That's great.
Yeah. Unharmed. They're very whimsical and affirming. And I appreciate all that. And, people think about steampunk. I feel like it gets kind of a bad rap because people thought it was played out a decade ago. I remember when I first got into steampunk, people were like, "Oh, steampunk is so over," and I was like, "Is it though?" I guess it depends if you're a friggin' edgelord, because to me, it's a place. It is the techno side of the fairy festival paradigm where we're still just engaged in maximum whimsy. You're just engaged in maximum whimsy and upcycling in a world that has technology, where in fairy festivals we tend to lean into the nature themed visuals. But to me, they're really just parts of, parts of the same whimsical universe of upcycling.
And according to VLF, steampunk is so back. And I kind of agree. And I tell you why I think that is because the punk aspect of it. And I had this long talk with PAX last Fairy Festival. Yeah. The one in November last year. We were talking about the punk aesthetic and why steampunk and rococo punk and dragon punk and aether punk and all of these different punks. The punk aesthetic is a DIY aesthetic, and it's finding creative solutions to current problems. It's make it yourself, do it yourself. And right now, the world, I think, is absolutely leaning into the do it DIY sort of situation. It's definitely going to be a strong pushback against the AI revolution, where people want to see a hand-drawn flyer, even if it looks like it was done with a marker, a la punk in the 80s.
Right.
Come see my show, come see I'm making a thing or whatever. They want to see that. That connects to people a lot more right now than these polished.
True. And we see it running into Ren fairs too, because again, you're right. There's some natural pushback, because however people feel about AI, the creative community as a whole has very strong negative responses to generative AI. That's, people feel exploited, and they feel like it's generating a lot of slop that looks like it came out of, I don't know, it's a bad art. Like I'm seeing in Ren fairs, the same conversations, and so many of us here, our lives overlap because of Ren fairs and gaming and so forth. The Richmond Ren Fair, which we just had in April, massively successful. They could do whatever, but they chose to make flyers that look hand-drawn, and they look almost like the Goofus and Gallant cartoons.
I love that. Exactly. That's where we're leaning right now.
Right. And I will say perfectly honestly, like, I personally, I don't like that style, but I do, like, it's not my vibe, because the reason I became a leader in the arts, like I got thrust into a leadership position, is because I could use PageMaker so that our flyers could look less hand-drawn by a hippie in Asheville circa 1996. So I don't love that, because I worked so hard to be better than that. But I do understand why it is suiting the needs of the times. It's like, I don't drink beer, but I do understand why people have a desire to brew their own. Like, I don't have to, it doesn't have to be a thing that I can enjoy for me to understand why it's meeting a cultural need.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And this embracing of the hand-drawn has granted me some confidence in my own personal artwork. This is the cranky that I built for the Key City event, very specifically just for the Key City event. Hey, you know what? Let me show you this. This is another project that I was trying out at Key City. Speaking of crankies, I put out a canvas and a bunch of markers, and I said, anyone who wants to draw on this can contribute to this scroll, which is going to kind of be like the memory of my time. Now, when I first did the layout, I originally thought it was going to go like this, but I realized it would fit, everything kind of will fit better like this. So this is the first time I don't have the cranks built here, but.
That's great, Mab. I didn't realize that that's what you were doing with that. I was sitting there sharing a table with that the whole time.
Yeah, I should have put up a bigger sign.
Well, I don't read signs. I'm sitting on the other side of the table, so that's entirely on me. Look at that. That's beautiful.
That's all me doodling, hoping that if somebody saw me doodling. Oh, and then right here, this little drawing, that's the book inspired by Leanne,
Yeah.
little ghost book.
Right.
And then I posted about the Cranky Workshop. And then I had a bunch of kids come up and they were having a good time drawing. And then that's me drawing some more stuff. And then look at this little one.
So cute.
Right? She did such a good job. And then big blank space because the next person who filled it in wanted their own.
Oh,
Look at that cat. That is so good, right?
so cute.
And then
Cats. I'm ready to show you guys my cat when you're done with your cranky. Look at that.
so these are all like, from the kids at the Steampunk Festival. And I think that was kind of fun. I'm gonna say my results were mixed. I am open to suggestions on how to improve it. I think starting with the material in the correct width, which I didn't have at the time.
Do you mean as far as that project goes, or the workshop itself?
Well, the workshop is different.
Okay.
But this project, I am trying to decide if setting up a collaborative scroll. Yeah, I don't know. And
I think
Nina,
it's a great idea. Like,
yeah.
But because we were running a 30-foot long yard sale, also, you were less able to just be like, I'm multitasking and here's a creative prompt, kid. It was sort of left in the middle. And I think that what you got relative to the amount of attention that we were able to put on it.
Right.
Wait, I want to show you my cat because she has done the thing she never does, which is come over here. For anybody who's been following this channel for a while, we foster, and we've had over 30 cats that we've never foster failed, and this is my first foster fail.
Aw.
If we
I
can
never
see.
look at the kitty. You can't go wrong with kitty. Oh. Gigi, put your face up. Oh, what a sweetheart.
She almost never lets anybody pat her. She
love
wants
you.
you to lay down.
Look at that
before she
nose.
pet you. Yes. This
I
is
love that
Gigi, which stands for Gattina Gobelina, which is cat goblin. But that's the fact she came to sit down next to me is kind of astonishing. So we foster failed with her after Tittle's death, not thinking we'd get a cat. And then we foster failed immediately with another cat because we got a kitten who decided that this was their cat and we didn't dare break them up. So we have Gigi and Poppy. So
Aw.
we have more cats than we ever thought we would, but she's so happy.
She's so cute. I would say it's a foster win. Is she on your lap yet? Has she done lap yet?
She's like, she climbs. It's like she's right here. She's been rubbing her face on the table. Gigi. Anyway, so thank you.
I want to touch on a couple of things. So BLC Blondie, who their daughter Sky is awesome, and I love Sky. Sky is now getting ready to go to college. And then I see this comment from PLC Blondie. Steampunk Tinkerbell costume when she was in elementary school. And it's the favorite one out of all the ones she's made. And then on the topic of foster kitties, the cat is stalking Sky as she packs up for college. And it just breaks my heart because you guys have been with our channel for so long. Knowing that Sky is going to college is like,
Right.
oh.
That means they were like in 8th grade or something?
Yeah, exactly. Because it's been 6 years. We've been on this channel for 6 years. So for the folks that are kind of new that I've met from the Steampunk Festival and, sharing our love. So this is Nat 21 Adventures. We started during the pandemic it was a bunch of Ren Fair performers, variety artists, a bunch of entertainers that were out of work that also like to play D&D. So we started playing D&D, and then this channel just kind of grew out of all of our interests. On Monday nights, we have modern music with Lady Prudence. Tuesday nights, we just finished up our main game, which was Bard Fight this go around, based on some books that Cameron from Barely Balanced wrote. And
does sonnets usually. We have the world's
on
best
Tuesdays. Yep. Collaborative sonnet writing. And on Wednesday during the day, we have a general crafting show where any of the, folks from Nat 21 Adventures pop in and we talk about the things that we're working on. And then we do trivia questions from really old trivia cards, and it's awesome. And then Thursday nights, we try to do like a rotating show. Sometimes Madame Mansa does tarot. Sometimes I do Mab Labs, where I'm talking about I try to work on some out of the box stuff, some innovative, and like, this is a new thing that I'm trying out and I want to see how it goes. And I often have guests on Mab Lab, and this week is this one. So that's we do regular shows, and I'm very grateful that folks are tuning in. There's another comment I want to pop up is Nina's comment about on Prince Edward Island, they had a giant cranky on stage. And yes, I would absolutely get someone to build me a giant cranky. Yes, I recognize he has no free time, but Key City was the first time I was successfully able to bring out the table-sized cranky box that I had been designing, like my booth cranky, which is going to be kind of like an advertisement. And I sent the design out to print, but I didn't get the right fabric. Like they didn't ask me what kind of fabric. I should have been like, hey, what kind of fabric do you print on? It said polyester, which is what it needs to be printed on, but it didn't say like a 4-way stretch polyester. And
it was a little flaccid.
It was a little flaccid at points, but if you handled it, but other than that, I think it worked really great.
Absolutely.
So I did come up with another idea. Those New York shopping carts. I use it to move all the supplies between my booth and the cranky workshop, so it's filled with markers or whatever. I'm thinking about converting that thing into a mobile cranky movie theater. And I'm just now starting the blueprint designs on that. And I think that'll be awesome when it finally comes around.
Can I expand out a little bit? And
absolutely.
I unfortunately don't have a project here this evening. I just wanted to jump in with Mab and talk about some of what we've been up to.
Sure.
So Mab has got her hands in all the things. I'm just riding the current right now. I just got back from about a month on the road with Paolo. We did a couple weeks of the Washington Midsummer Renaissance Fair, which was great. But it was a 42-hour drive, so that took an entire week of our lives. We pulled over once to get something cool. The rest of the time, we're just trying to get there in time for work. Because if you know anything about the Renaissance Festival life, it is like you have to get your stuff set on Friday in order to be able to show up and give your best on Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
So it was pedal to the metal. We had done this great event here with Mab and Namely and Justin and Arthur Rowan, who we've had on the channel. Stomp, Alex Stompley, aka Pax. We did a great event here in July with everybody, and then they hung around Sunday morning after the event. That everyone was here for a little bit of breakfast, and then they left the next day for the West Coast. So I'm just now on the tail end of that.
Wow. You've really been running since July.
Been running since July. Which is why this cat's so happy to see me.
That was July 11th and 12th.
Correct. And so we left on the 13th, drove all the way across. I spent the first half being mad that America's roadside is so boring. And then suddenly you go, wow, this country has amazing geography once you get to the other side. Like you just can't look away from the fact that it's astounding. So we did all the things, and then we flew from there to Gen Con with representatives from Nat 21. It was me, Paolo, Nina Lee, and Justin, who are part of our regular pit squad for running things there, and Sarah Joy, SJ, who some of you may also know from helping me run the Burlesque Festival. She's the tech director. And so the five of us arrived at Gen Con to do a full weekend of shows. Gen Con, if you don't know, is a 70,000 person gaming trade show in Indianapolis. So Paulo and I flew there Jacques also flew because Jacques had been out there with us in Washington. So Jacques the Whipper, he and Paulo had sold out 1,000 seats.
1,000? I didn't realize it was 1,000.
Yeah, it was two 500-seat shows because they didn't want to make it bigger than that because they felt these rooms tend to be long and narrow.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, and they felt anybody sitting any further back than that wasn't going to get their money's worth, So we had two 500-seat shows, and we were the staff. So like Neely and Justin ran crew, and SJ ran security for Jack, which is a thing these days, and also helped usher. It was all of the things. So we like pulled together the like Nat 21 and Abs Fest community to kick some ass and do all that. It was amazing. A cool thing is that as part of the Bard Fight book that Paulo's putting together, we made folios of just him and Jacques. One of the guys from Dice Nights, Josh, did a really beautiful job laying it all out in the sort of D&D style, or the TTRPG style, since you can't say what it is, the 5e style, and Nicole Peace in Yellow, who is well known to us all from the Fairy Festival community.
He's another amazing artist that you should follow.
Oh yeah, who's a great artist, also a great tarot reader who I hire in to do gigs for me when I can't do them.
Right.
So again, this community came together and we made these folios and sold signed copies to fans. And unfortunately, all the people who showed up for Jacques' shows also went, "Who's this other guy? This is pretty funny." So that was good all around. We sold a bunch of stuff. That was Thursday night, and then Jacques flew out immediately after. Like 4 hours of sleep to get back to Washington. And we stayed and worked all weekend and did all the other shows and classes and panels and things. And then after Gen Con, Paulo flew back to Washington and I flew home.
Oh, wow. And then immediately
went to Key City. So the cool news is we have these cool, if you like this sort of thing, we have these cool new folios that were, illustrated by a real artist based on Paulo's upcoming Bard Fight book. We had it was really great to stand, there's probably $1 billion worth of marketing being spent at Gen Con, right? Like D&D, like Dungeons and Dragons, rented the whole floor of the stadium and built a Ren Fair that none of us ever saw because they were like doing their, 50 years of D&D thing or whatever. Like it's such a huge event. I never saw most of it. It's so big that D&D didn't know that some of the most famous Ren Fair people were in another building already performing. Like, it's enormous. So there's a lot of money there. A lot of giant corporations are dumping money into gaming, and, Wizards of the Coast are there, and every gaming thing you've ever heard of is there. It was really lovely.
That is standard for Gen Con, but yeah.
Yeah, it was enormous.
It's specifically a gaming convention more so than Dragon Con is. Dragon Con is a pop culture convention. So
this is
if you are a gamer, if you were a gamer, Gen Con is where you go.
And if you are a person who needs to meet somebody from the East Coast for a meeting, like some people they're just there running meetings the whole time because people fly from all over the world. They're not even on the floor. It's another one of those events where some people are just gaming, and some people are just LARPing, and some people are just working, and some people like us are doing a little of everything, and some people are just in meetings. We got to go see 20-Sided Tavern because Stomp was there, because Wizards of Hasbro D&D flew the Wizards of the Coast, flew the staff of that show in there to perform, and we got to go see him in a beautiful theater. We're like, that's our guy from Net 21. Woo!
I remember him when he was a unloved little goblin that discovered family for the first time.
Right. That's our boy, all grown up. Felicia Day did a surprise appearance on stage.
Oh, right.
So, there's like all this, packs from your shows. So, there was all this crazy stuff that happened, but it was nice to stand there and be like, we are physically here. We are artists made of meat and spirit, and we have product that was illustrated by real artists and written by real humans with no help from anything that was draining a data center any more than any of us have to. It was really nice to say, this is art made by real artists. And
made by meat-based artists.
Yes, meat-based artists, for sure. So we felt good about that. I know, the debate about AI continues to rage in the community. But it was like when we said real people made this with their own hands, with their own hearts, with their own art supplies, the audience cheered. I will tell you before we jump from the Gen Con subject that I got to see Paulo do something I've never seen him do before ever. And I've known him for 30 years.
I've known him for
even longer.
What did he do? What did that son of a biscuit do?
So he walks on the ball of death, right, at Ren Fairs, because when he started at Ren Fairs, you couldn't ride a unicycle because they were too modern. Ren Fairs don't care anymore about that. People ride unicycles.
And the fact that they pretended to care then always makes me laugh.
Right. So he started walking, but he was a very good unicyclist and a giraffe unicyclist and all the stuff.
All right.
So he had to figure out how to break down a unicycle and fit it in his luggage. And he brought it. And Paulo rode unicycle around in a circle on the stage while Jacques chased him with a whip.
I love it. That is awesome.
As somebody who's also seen somebody smash their teeth out, because many of you also know that our kid knocked his front teeth out and then spent 10 years getting dental work. I'm like, I know Paulo's very capable, but I have not had a chance to get used to this. And if he smashes his face. It can
be traumatic. I'll give you that.
There's not enough money in the world to fix his face if he falls down. And the thing is, the whole stage was shifting as he was moving around too, because you're on a stage and all those temporary stages are shit. So the stage was wobbling. It was hilarious. They won the audience over. He was being chased around holding spaghetti while Jacques whipped it out of his hands. It was a win for everyone. But for me, who was just quietly white knuckling off to the side of the stage, and he's like, I'm fine. And I was like, I know. I've had 30 years to watch him juggle freaking knives and fire in the ball of death. I know he's going to be fine.
I want to say, just some guy hooked up Will Wheaton with some of our natural 21 dice.
Oh, awesome.
You can roll a natural 21. And I love his character in the Guild, who's like kind of I don't know if you ever watched the Guild.
I did.
He
right, because he was like the jerky guy, right?
Yeah, he was what I like to call the hot nerd, right?
Right.
Like the hot nerd that's like arrogant because he knows that he can get away with anything because he's the hot one. And I thought his character was brilliantly done. And this is the other comment. I love it. Was it wobbling because the earth is spinning? So back in the day, I don't know if he still does this. Back in the day, he used to have this joke in a show from an offhand comment. I said, I'll be honest with you. He goes, where I'm standing, not only will I be standing, which is a trick it took me many years as a small child to learn, I will be standing upon the ball of death, which is standing upon another ball.
Yes, he does say that.
He still says that?
Yep. And because I always watch the ASL interpreters of his show, I've learned to say the ball is on fire and covered in
spikes. For those of you in the back who may not be able to see the ball of death clearly, it's on fire.
Yeah. So that was great. And then we got through all that and we were exhausted. And then I ran home and did some laundry and kissed the kids and went off to do Key City with you. And then I spent Monday basically in a vegetative state reading Dungeon Crawler Carl because I couldn't even. The moral of the story is I can still run and work as hard as ever I did, but I have more recovery time is required.
Yeah, that's fair. I kind of was in a vegetative state all day Monday as well, but for a different reason. I did manage to unload the car in the extreme heat of the DC metro area from the event. And then I get inside and I'm like, AC. And the sky split open, thunder, lightning, power loss.
No way.
So for 4 hours, I sat in my house going, I'm taking this as a sign from the universe that I'm just going to sleep. Just going to sleep for a while and call it art,
Right.
And it was a little warm in the house when the AC finally kicked back on, but I wasn't dying. I bought one of those, golly, what are they called? Power cube things. I highly recommend it, but I didn't get to the point where I needed it, like urgently or anything. So, okay. So we have like 10 minutes left on the show, technically 9 minutes. And I want to show off a thing. For those of you who didn't see this, yesterday, actually, during the Creating with the Crew, I make, they're called ACEOs. They're art card edition originals, and they are small little, it looks like it is 3.5 by 2.5. Always have a ruler built into your table. 3.5 by 2.5 art card editions originals. So
cute.
I've been seeing a lot of watercolors there. I picked up some watercolor palettes, and I made these, and I posted them. This goes upside down now. I posted them online to share with some of my friends, and one of the artists that I love and have been wanting to work with, she goes, "Oh shit, you can do a watercolor cranky scroll," and I'm like, I need to. Well, you can't do it with watercolor paper, which is what I'm used to painting watercolor on. And so this is like the innovation part. So while we were talking just now, I did a kind of a palette sample thing. This is the same material that I tried to use, that I used for the steampunk scroll for the Key City collaborative scroll. And I think, so this is where I started over here. It seems like it's staying, which is, and it still maintains flexibility. I can still paint it. I tried it on this side and it just pooled. But it looks like it'll also stay. So I think I might be able to make a watercolor scroll, which I'm very fascinated at the concept. I do already have a nice cranky box. Walk through the woods would be lovely. I have a cranky box that looks like an art broken picture frame already that I really like, and I might make something watercolor based for that. I think that's what I'm going to go with. So that's the next project that, me trying out a thing that I'm going to give it a shot. Thanks for joining, Ansa. Do you have any inspirations that came out of your recent adventures?
I mean, I guess don't stop trying to make art in your life, whatever that means for you.
Yeah. Because
how can I say this? Because I'm a professional artist, because I make my living in the arts, even though I dabble in a million things, it adds up to I'm an artist. And I feel like there's a tension in our society that is kind of made up between art and craft, professional and hobbyist. And if you're a real artist, you can make a living at it, blah, blah, blah. Like you and I are both real artists, but capitalism is hard at this time.
And I'm made of meat and everything. So yeah, definitely a meat-based artist.
You're a real artist. And not everyone, how can I say this? Not everyone is every time somebody's like, oh, you should just go do that and make $1 million. It's hard to make $1 million in the arts ever. And certainly now, right? So it's it can't be, whether you feel like you're an artist in your heart should not be measured by how much money you are making at it. Should not be measured by how much approval you get from other people. Just make some art. We saw so many, I took a fishbowl and I filled it with plants and I put it on my head and now it's a space helmet, and everyone is better off for having seen your terrarium helmet. Everyone is better for having gotten to make crankies out of, rubber bands and stickers. Everyone, is better off for having made crazy Slenderman costumes out of long johns. Whatever. We saw so much wild, eclectic art that wasn't trying to win awards and it wasn't trying to be monetized. It was just people being creative to prove that we're still allowed to have creativity even when times are hard. I consider those as the moments that you've been driven by the muse, that you are compelled.
The power of
Yeah.
Christ, the cranky compels you.
Power of cranky compels you.
The power of cranky compels you. The power of cranky compels you. So anyway, I guess that was just my real takeaway was like, don't
I
let
think
anybody
that's
else
brilliant. Yeah.
tell you what you're allowed to do if you're a real artist or what decides if it's real. Just make some art because it's good for your soul. It's the touching grass of the art supply world. Just get your fingers wet.
It makes the world a better place. That's what I think qualifies as art. And my personal slogan that I close every show with is make art every day. Even like the little thing, like if you're doing a foam latte and just make it a little more creative.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's like, even in your latte, that was what came to my
Yeah.
mind.
Well, that's because it's like classic cliche. You're like, but it's beautifying a thing. And to say like art is beauty, I want to be clear that doesn't preclude desiccated corpses.
Yeah,
There
art
is
can
a
be
certain
ugly,
beauty.
but it can still have meaning.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, making art every day is absolutely important for the betterment of the world and our society and our soul and our community. So I want to say thank you so much to the Madame Ansa fellow Nat 21 adventurer and with so many adventurers. And I want to say thank you to everybody that I met and is tuned in today from the Steampunk Festival.
You guys are so great.
Yeah, seriously, I want to say thank you so much. And of course, to the awesome folks that are, I haven't gotten a chance to see on a Thursday night of Sir David Percival and Sally A.E. I want to say thanks for tuning in this week.
And in 2 weeks, I'm going to be starting Maryland.
Oh, yeah.
We've got 2 months of work coming up in Maryland. And that's once I catch my breath, that's the huge push is to get ready for that and get everything prepped for the season. And I'm excited to know that I'm going to see a bunch of you guys at Maryland.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to stop by and say hey and poke fun at a juggler. That's all I got to say. Man of mountains of leather. Oh,
So-
yay. And one last thing, just got to add, Mayor Finkel was in fact framed.
Well, when we catch him, we're gonna make him be in the fashion show.
Mayor Finkel was framed. I'm going to say this by Mayor Reverend Tommy.
Right. Ooh, does that mean that Mayor Finkel now gets to be Reverend Finkel since Reverend Tommy is now actually a mayor?
Ooh, 6 years and I don't ever want you to let it go. Never let it go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and keeping us creating for another hour of our lives and inspiring and
sharing the news.
sharing
I-
the
A lot of
news.
news from the outside. I was happy to get to let you guys know. It's when we're not here, it's not because we don't care. It's because there's
That's
literally no internet.
It has been very busy. So I will see you making art every day. Bye-bye.